Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News, and I'm your host, Ellie. And boy, this is an important show, folks. Oh boy, to even, uh, I called William today and I said, William, this is what I got. And I said, William, are you willing to go by standby to help me out with this? He said he would. I think I can hold this on my own. Let's start with the government shutdown. You know, I'm into spending less. I'm into spending the necessary things that we need. Now, what are they throwing at us? Social Security veterans benefits. We learned last year that if you call your Social Security Department or your Veteran Administration, they're going to say you are funded for the next year. They go a year ahead. So, they didn't really mention that. So, what are we worried about losing? Well, maybe the ATF, the IRS. I could do without that. The Green New Deal. What about funding for Congress and Senate? Yeah, is that what they're worried about? I mean, I could get. What about the Department of Education? Yeah, we could do without that. What about I mentioned the Green New Deal. What about the government's pay? No, no, not the little guys. We're talking the big guys. Can we do away with government spending? Like, uh, what about Mayorkas? Can we do without his pay? What would he do if we didn't pay him? What about Garland? What would he do if we didn't pay him? Sullivan. Oh yeah. So there's really no big deal about the budget. Now, so I had to look into when did this become a big deal? 1980s. Back then we didn't care if the government shut down. We didn't care because they were shutting down the Republican government. They said from corruption. What was going on in the 80s? Well, Bush. Well, we know that Bush was working with the Clintons. So, Bill Clinton's like a son to me, they said. Then we had the Clintons. Then we had Bush. And Bush, oh, Clinton's like a son. Everything to cover up what they were doing in Colombia. And it didn't dawn on me till last night when I heard about 60 Minutes. Did anybody watch 60 Minutes last night? I watch it a lot because it didn't turn corrupt until the Obama administration. Then I started noticing, well, why are they lying? Why are they lying? And what were they lying about? It wasn't about Obama. It wasn't about Michelle. It wasn't about anything but what the government was doing, foreign affairs, and who was in charge of foreign affairs. Now, I will let you know that foreign affairs is usually done by our vice president. So even if it was uh, uh, the Bush or Reagan, the vice president is always foreign affairs. This is just what we knew. Now, if you didn't pay attention to your foreign government or what we who when where what with foreign affairs, you probably wouldn't have known that our vice president is in charge of foreign affairs. What's that mean? What is foreign affairs? It's where we go and make sure they're not going to bomb us, for one. They're not going to nuke us. But what are they looking at with making money off the United States? What about uh, the money for uh, migrants or the people that are poor? But the thing that got me was when I seen the Bright Bear. Um, when I was watching and something got cut. I said, "What got cut?" Because they edit. And when you look at the edits, and then I found out this morning what the edit was. It was to um, not demonize Ukraine. And now, me and my brother, we did a show on Ukraine many years ago, one of our first years together. And then I have done since then. But what I was looking into was why why are all these Democrats running over to Ukraine? Why is UK there? Why is NATO there? This is way before. This is in 2013, 14, 15, 16. Why is NATO in Ukraine in 2014? Why was the United States and Democrat leaders, as well as Lindsey Graham and Republicans in Ukraine? That's what caught my attention. And then I said, "Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Why is Joe Biden's son over there buying into gas? Why is he over there buying into gas lines? Why is he buying into uh, crude oil, natural gas? And why did they refurbish, close down Russian um, chem labs? Why did they all of a sudden make it a political asylum for political parties all over the United States? Not only that, but all over the globe. Well, you know what I learned from 60 Minutes last night? Taxpayers, you, me, are financing more than just weapons. They're buying seeds and fertilizer for Ukraine farmers. They got trained rescue dogs. They're looking for survivors. The U.S. also funds drivers who we saw clearing explosive ammunitions from the countries, maybe to make them safe. Let's start with the ammunition in the mines. These are cluster bombs. Who's got cluster bombs but Ukraine? Okay, so Ukraine is clearing out Ukraine cluster bombs, supposedly that Russia had. Really? How did we hear? Did we hear in the news, NBC, ABC, MSNBC, that that Russia was shooting cluster bombs? No, we heard Ukraine was. We gave it to them. Oh, yeah, we were going to win the war with them. So why are they disarming them? We're also looking at uh, bringing back their small businesses. Why are we bringing back Ukrainian small businesses with our tax money when they won't, when this government they won't even put into helping small businesses here? But remember the little dogs that are finding bodies in Ukraine. That's good. I mean, I'm not gonna pull away from that. That's a good thing. But you are paying for small businesses to be replenished in Ukraine. Remember when we were raided, the riots, BLM, help me, I can't breathe. So why are we replenishing? And they thanking us. The Ukrainians are thanking the taxpayer uh, in the United States for bringing back their small businesses so they can become um, a a country again. Boy, folks, I'm trying not to get mad because there's more to come tonight. That I am just so William could even tell you I'm livid over. You know, we can be really nice and help Ukraine win the war because the economy is the foundation of everything. But when I heard US AID is paying for it, who's in charge of that? The State Department. And we're giving them millions of dollars. Now, our inflation is going up because they're printing money. Now, I remind you, I've told you we're printing money, printing money, printing money. So every billions of dollars, and it led into trillions of dollars to Ukraine, has been printed money. And who pays for that? You do. Are you willing? And they say, we're not doing enough. The people of Ukraine said, we're not doing enough. We need, it's our lives, it's our babies, it's our everything, our small businesses. The country of Ukraine, very small. That why are we being so mean, the taxpayers? And we see Zelensky going around the world saying, wait a minute, I need money, buds. I need money. I need nukes. And Congress turned them down. Why? Why did Congress, why did our government turn them down? And what are we doing over there? According to 60 Minutes last night, do you realize that we are supporting the Ukrainian farmers? We're tearing down our farmers. Oh, they can have fertilizers and pesticides. Yeah, that's allowed. Anywhere else in the world aren't allowed that. They're trying to make Ukraine number one for grain. Who's sabotaging it? Russia. Why? Isn't that weird? And Ukraine now is they're going to be looking at number one for economics, for political asylum, farmers, gas, natural gas, oil, and everything that we have invested in, we are our same politicians are against, and not only in our country but around the world. So why are we doing this? Why has Ukraine become more important than the United States and its taxpayers? Well, the more I look into it, the more pissed off I get, folks, because the U.S. aid is now running pretty much everything. Who pays U.S. aid over in Ukraine? It's covering everything that the taxpayers are paying for here. You wonder how come your bread has went up? Well, you know what? Ukraine needs our money. They need to blow up and they need to fight Russia. So what is Russia? Socialism. What is Ukraine? Folks, open your eyes. Zelensky has said it's socialism into communism. And our Azov battalion are Nazis. It's going to make sure we bring it through. Whoa, Nazis, what? We have Joe Biden that is known, and I've brought this out, Senator Byrd, about white supremacy. And you go over there, what are Nazis? And I've said over the last few days that Antifa has been taken out in UK. Why? Nazis. What did Putin say? Everybody wants to give little credit to Putin, but Putin said, you know what? The West is Nazis. And, I always thought it was the United States when I first heard it. And I thought, no, there's something wrong. And then when I went and looked, and I seen that Zelensky was a part of the Azov battalion, I said, whoa. And then me and my brother did the show on Burisma. And, Burisma was one thing. It was a Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and Archer and all of that. And the gas, the oil, um, the old uh, uh, destroyed Chem labs that they were all building up, and the Biden family and the Democrat Party was moving into Ukraine, and I seen dozens of like Durbin and Graham. What was Graham doing in Ukraine in 2013, 14, 15, 16 with Democrat parties? That's why I never did like him. And when me and my brother looked into it, I thought there's got to be something more to this. What is going on? And then I remembered what my dad had to say. And my dad warned me about Hitler, about Nazis, about everything that was going to come up in the next, he thought, next few years under um, basically it was Bush and Reagan, um, the Clintons, Carter, and I didn't understand. And then we got stationed out here in the Air Force in the early '80s, and then it started dawning on me what was going on. And so When I watched 60 Minutes last night, I said, well, is this a Nazi acceptance? What do I mean by that? Well, when I looked at the Canadian Parliament, did the unthinkable. You know, when we have Ivan the Terrible equivalent, Hi Hitler, and then you just got to look. How many Nazis under Hitler did we hide in Canada? Isn't it? I have been telling you that when they, during the World to Ukraine, they fled to Ukraine, and what did I say? That the generations ended up being Azov Battalion. Well, you know, after looking at what happened in Canada, an event honoring U.S. President Zelensky, and then they wanted to bring out a 98-year-old former SS soldier to glorify him, that carried out the most vile of killings in concentration camps, setting people on fire. Well, you know, when I heard this, my memories ran back. Why am I so angry? And I'm doing pretty good. My dad sat me down. He says, "You know what? We're Polish." Really? So I'm thinking we're dumb Polacks. No, no. He said, my aunt and her family, her husband, their two kids, were basically eliminated in Auschwitz. And I was like, wow, this is early 70, folks. This is before the movie came out with what was going on in Auschwitz. But when the movie did come out, I went out and confronted my dad. What's going on? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They did it. They killed your aunt and her kids. The whole family was assassinated. They eliminated them. So this gentleman that they celebrated and made him cry, made him feel like, oh, he was okay for setting people on fire. He put them in a building, set them on fire, watched them burn. Yeah, maybe I should have put up a warning for tonight's show. When I heard this, I was pissed. Canadian not only took in, but they hid Nazis that did the unimaginable to the Jews. And then Trudeau wants to get up there and say, oh, yeah, yeah, we're good. This is a great thing. You know why? Because the Germans, we fought with the Germans. What? Whoa, 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 whoa. When did we fight with the Germans, folks? To take out Russia. They're changing history. They're changing history on you, folks. They're changing that Germans were okay. The Russians were the bad guys. When did it happen that Hitler did these concentration camps? Oh no. They want to bury this. And there's a gentleman that's on Redacted that explains a lot of this, folks. When did we decide to change history? To say not only Canadians, but the Americans fought with Germans to do away with Russia. I thought it was we fought against the Germans to keep them from exterminating Jews. No, 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 no. Let's not look there, they say. Over the last 2 years, and when we moved into the Biden administration, folks, we decided we were going to start rearranging history. And it started with the Jews. And the Jews aren't the best. I mean, they have done horrible things too. I'm not gonna stand up for all of them. But when we killed, when we stopped the Germans from going through and just hitting up Jews and taking their wealth, and this was Soros, this was probably Klaus Schwab, many of them. This 98-year-old guy that's torched and set on fire and thought it was a great idea of Jews, Polish Jews. And sometimes I wonder if I should have questioned my dad more. But this guy is now verifying that they're changing history. Not only in Canada. Canada has opened arms. A German that torched Jewish people in Germany. Worse than Ivan the Terrible. Shouldn't we be arresting him right now? No, we're glorifying him. Hi, Hitler. Am I right? They're going to change history, just like they changed history with 9/11. When they can change history, they can mold our minds to what they want. But I'm not going to let Trudeau go on this. A few years back, when I showed you that Zelensky was part of the Azov Battalion, what did I say? The Azov Battalion were either the grandkids or the great grandkids of the SS Army, the ones that killed the Jews. Now, you may think, oh, Ellie, it's because your family was eliminated by Germans. It's not just my family. It's not just my great aunt. It's all of them. I had a French teacher that showed me pictures, and I was just disgusted. There was people that puked in my senior year class that she showed this to. They were puking what we were watching. And she would say, see what the French were, they were okay with this. Europe was okay with this. In the 40s? When did we ever learn that in history? They have been altering history since World War II. Why? What did we do with the Nazis, the scientists? We took them in. Canada hit them. What we couldn't take in and use and abuse, we sent to Canada and they hit them. And now we're finding one of probably the last ones. And we're saying, you know what? This is a great man because he fought against Russia. And in World War II, the United States and Canada teamed up with the Germans to fight Russia to end the assassination of the Jews. What? What the hell? What the hell have they decided they're going to change? Was that the World War II? If you're part of the generation right now in the last 20, 30 years, yeah, you might believe that. But we know what happened. Now we know why Steven Spielberg is. They have to charge a big amount for you to see what he put out. Now we know why they're changing history. That we in Canada was fighting Russia with Germany. Germany was okay. It was Russia, the communist. Now I learned with Gorbachev, and I can only say to Gorbachev, that he looked at Putin and he said, we cannot be communist because of what the Germans are doing. The Nazis are in Ukraine. You got to do away with them. This is stuff my dad told me, folks, in the 70s. And I blew it off. I thought, yeah, Dad. Who wants to listen to Dad and his news and his world news and history? And we, in the 70s, we weren't about that. But now I look back on it. I'm wishing I would ask more questions of my dad and my mom. Mom, anti-communist, and it wasn't Russia. She said Europe, and I was like, Mom, Earth, Mom, Europe isn't communist, Mom. And I'm thinking Mom had way too much beer that night. Maybe she was right. I didn't look at it, and then I started talking to William today. And I started realizing, you know what? We have been going through the motions since the 40s with Germany to make a Germany okay. Why? What was it that Germany had? What was it Germany had that we were willing to deceive of the globe, every country around the globe? Scientists that knew how to make nuclear weapons. What are we looking at today, folks? The biggest lie in history, that Ukraine is winning this war. No, they're not. Yeah, they killed 50,000. They killed 50,000 Russians out of 800,000. How many times have we seen it flipped around in our own country, in our own political war, economic border? Everything has been flipped. And they tried this out in the 70s and 80s, that if you flip the program, with Bernie Sanders, we're all going to die. We're all going to die in 8 years. And we all believed it. That was the moment then they realized if they pushed it hard enough, not only with the politicians, but with the media, we'd believe it. Would you believe that this famous comedian, Zelensky, was part of the Azov battalion? Would we believe it if the media pushed and pushed and pushed it? Yes, we would. But no, they're hiding it. And when they found the perfect one, who found them? The Obama administration. He was easily programmable. We give you enough money, you'll do anything for us. Okay, if we give the Bidens unlimited amount of money, will he say what we want him to say? Would he do what the government has told him to do? Well, let's look at the Biden family. The senator, oh yeah, he was loudmouth. Whatever the Democrats wanted him to say, he barked. And come to find out, during his senator years, he made a lot of money for barking. And, that was something my dad brought out. I said, well, I don't know, Dad. He seems kind of like an okay guy. No, 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 no. He told me, no, you don't understand. And then my dad would get mad at me. And then he would bring out Bernie Sanders. He'd bring out Feinstein. He would bring out Pelosi and Boxer and Schumer, Schiff. He started bringing all these politicians out that were lifers. And he called them lifers. And he said, you don't understand. They are going to change history so that they can bring communism into our country. I said, no, I don't know about that, Dad. I don't know. And folks, I just want to say, me and William have a lot on tomorrow night's show that I want to go over with him. But I want to give you guys the basics, because what I found out on Redacted of this whole Nazi regime. Now, we did take them in as scientists. We did take them in as scientists to do what? To create nuclear power. Now, all of a sudden, in 2010 to 2000, I'm thinking it's even back to 2008, we have the Biden administration moving into Ukraine. Now, back then, the Biden family was known as white supremacist, basically rubbing elbows with Senator Byrd, the Green Dragon of the KKK, which fits in great with the Biden family. But how many? I couldn't understand why there were so many Democrats and so many Republicans and Joe Biden going to Ukraine out of the blue. But they were doing Pakistan. They were doing Afghanistan back then. And I was like, why are we doing this? Well, it makes sense with when 9/11 happened. We did Iraq, we went to Afghanistan, but what was Schumer and Schiff doing in Pakistan and Ukraine, as well as dozens of Democrat Party doing in Ukraine? That was my question to my brother. Why are they doing this? Well, Biden family bought into the gas industry. And then I found out, okay, so they're into the gas, and Archer basically took the blame for Burisma. And then I started hearing, wait a minute, there's this great big gas deal that's going, a pipeline going through Ukraine. And now we are starting to, and this was in 2016, 13 to 16. We're now starting to put into their farming industry as we were cutting ours. And I thought, why are we sending millions of dollars to Ukraine for farming? This is way, now think about this, folks. This is way back when. This is Obama administration. Did any of you know about this? And so, if now get this, on foreign policy, your vice president always does not act on a foreign policy without the president's signature. So Obama knew about this. So we knew we were sending millions and billions of dollars to Ukraine in 2013. I can't say before, because I can't follow anything before that. Everything's disappeared. And I'm wondering why we're spending millions and millions of dollars in Ukraine. And then the Biden family ends up there. Then we got Obama in there with the help of Michelle Obama. and her kids. And, I thought, why is Michelle Obama and her kids making money off Ukraine? Why? Well, makes sense when we have the Joe Biden grandkids making money off Ukraine. Five 5-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds. Makes sense. And during the Clinton administration, we were looking at the foundations. When all the foundations got busted out, they had to find a new way. A new way was to invest in foreign resources. Well, China was buying into the diamond and gold in Africa. We went, and then that's when I see Nancy Pelosi, Schumer, Schiff, and Feinstein going country to country to country, buying into resources. Why? It never made sense with me until now. They bought resources because instead of funneling the money like the Clintons did from the drugs and the guns to the foundation, and banker and banker and banker, and then into their account. Well, they got busted out for that. Well, if we create a foundation, and we go country to country, well, you know what? We can get into the resources. We can use our tax money to buy into to this. Anything extra goes into the foundation. It's okay. Because of course we got to pay them for their time, right? So that's where Ukraine came in. And it didn't bug me until they said they were going to do political asylum. And then all of a sudden, the political asylum came in when Burisma got busted out. And then, I started looking into it and I found out we have got a Nazi issue in Ukraine. And not only that, but they're communist. Now, they were good to go until Hunter Biden busted them out on this. Dummy, the crackhead he is. And Archer even said, we would have been fine until we had Hunter Biden on crack. Did you miss that one? Well, only because, they turned on Archer when they first got busted out for Burisma. And he said, you know what? You don't realize what they're doing. And all of a sudden, when he started talking in court, and oh yeah, we can't see that. We found out that Fauci and a few had bought and refurbished labs that Russia destroyed. They bombed. They said, well, no, you ain't getting this in Ukraine. They rebuilt it, and we got a pandemic. And Russia said, you got Nazis in Ukraine. You got Nazis. I totally believe that Zelensky signed that Minsk agreement, folks. The Minsk agreement was that Russia, okay, now get this, when Chernobyl went, Ukraine says, no, we ain't helping these guys. That's Russia. Russia said, we'll do Chernobyl, we'll do Kyiv. We'll take care of all these people and the fallout on this. That was Ukraine. Chernobyl is not in Russia. Why is Russia paying for Chernobyl in a country that it's not even his? Because the people said Russia took better care of them than they did. Russia's not, I'm not going to defend Russia. Russia is horrible. But when Russia said they did this, and this, you know what? Maybe we need to start looking at Russia and saying maybe Putin didn't lie. Why is Russia covering what's going on in Chernobyl? They're totally responsible for it. It's in Ukraine. And see, I didn't understand that one either, and I looked into it. And then I found out, oh yeah, the Lenin statue is in Kyiv because Russia has always taken care of Kyiv. Always. And that little strip, they've always taken care of that little strip. Why? Because I can't say the men and the women, you know what, they couldn't keep them sexually apart. And the Ukraine and the Russians had kids. And that created a mix. And Ukraine said, hell no, we're going to destroy them. We're going to shoot every single one of them. We're going to kill them. Why? Because they had Russian in them? And Russia said, no, no. And this is all the stuff I brought over the years. I was one of the first journalists, folks, that brought this out years ago when Karen, me and Karen and my brother, my sister, we brought this out that this was happening. And everybody, I lost so many viewers over this. And I said, this is what's going on. And you know what? Now, Redacted has come out with it. CNN's coming out with it. And many journalists are coming out with everything I'm telling you right now. I said, even my brother doubted me on things. I said, no, I think I'm right. And we're going to get someone very popular come out of Ukraine that will be president to replace all these oligarchs. And lo and behold, Zelensky, MFer, came out. Biden said, he's just like a son to me. I heard that, and you know exactly what I thought about? Oh, folks, I was so mad because Bush, Papa Bush, said, Clinton's like a son to me. And then I knew that Zelensky was the United States way to get into Ukraine, to promote the Nazis, to go after Russia. Why? Why? Because Russia had so many nukes that we had to stop them. And if we didn't turn the American people against Russia, if we didn't give them everything false, every true, false, whatever it was, if we didn't turn the American people against Russia, Russia was going to use the nukes. So why in the hell are they pushing Russia to use nukes right now? Because they've been caught. They've been caught. The UN has come out and said the Nazi history is true in Ukraine. I was right, folks. We have got when we had World War II, they fled to Ukraine. And they reestablished themselves. We had them go to Canada. We had them scientists over here. They went down to Ukraine and reestablished the Nazi Party. And that's where Azov Battalion has come out. And that's what Russia's been saying. The West are Nazis. Everybody, and you know what NBC said? Oh, it's us, it's us. Get over yourselves, NBC. Get over yourselves. It wasn't about that. He was saying Ukraine was Nazis. Ukraine isn't, I'm sorry, Russia isn't Hollywood. Russia isn't about the United States. It was to expose Ukraine for what they were. They were tired. Who cares about the United States? If you look at Russia and you look at Ukraine, you're looking at them saying, we're paying for them. We're paying for those Ukraine Russians you don't want to accept. We're paying for Chernobyl. We're paying for Kyiv. We're paying for the Strip. We're paying. We're done. That's where the Minsk agreement came in. And I've said many times, it was signed, it was agreed upon. Russia said, when we decide and it's right for the people, we'll come in and we'll take these cities over, these states. And Zelensky came in, and Zelensky not only signed the Minsk agreement, but he signed a ceasefire. He signed it, and then they sent UK over there. They sent all of these politicians over there to change his mind. Why? And now we're finding we have an administration that's pouring billions and trillions of dollars into this country to make sure they're small business owners. Watch 60 Minutes last night. We're going to take care of the small business owners. What about us? And we need more U.S. taxpayers' money because we're hurting and more. What about what we got going on with the border? What we got going on with the homeless? What we got going on with the unemployed? But no, our money needs to go to Ukraine. For what? Well, it's a political asylum. Is this where they're all going to run when they get caught? Because, if we tend to go a little too deep with Joe Biden, where's he going to go? A place that there's a political asylum. And he's already poured the money in, and, Zelensky's like a son to him. And it's not just the Democrats, folks, it's the Republicans. They are just as warmonger as the Democrats are. Oh, look at Graham. Oh, let's give more money. Let's give more money. Let's give more money. The military complex says let's give more money. It's funded by the Republicans. Why? Why are we pouring trillions of dollars? And not only that, but we have been depleted some of our infrastructure with our military to where are we going to lose to China? Do we have anybody that has addressed this? If we don't have enough ammunition to fight China, we're going to lose. But no, let's not look over there, they say. Taiwan's okay. Is it? Let's worry about Ukraine. Let's worry about Ukraine. And why are we worried about Ukraine? What is it about Ukraine that we have to worry about? Well, Russia. Okay, so if Russia's been taking care of Ukraine for decades, why can't they take care of Russia for decades? Oh, because they invaded them. Well, yeah, that was wrong. That was wrong. I'm going to admit that was wrong. Even with the Minsk agreement and everything, that was wrong, how they went about it. But now all of the millions and trillions of dollars we have put into military aid into Ukraine has left Taiwan now saying, do you guys have anything left? Well, don't worry about it. We got your back. Okay, when are we going to get tanks and planes and all this? Don't worry about it. If China looks too threatening, we'll come and we'll do something. Trillions of dollars over Ukraine. And Taiwan says, we're really starting to get worried. They're getting close. Don't worry about it. What is it about Ukraine that the Democrats over the last 40, 50 years are so worried about? Russia? Really? Why would they change history that say that we and Canada with the Germans fought Russia in World War II. It's a lie, folks. Don't fall for it. We know. I mean, us older generation, we know, but the younger generation don't. No, we went to Germany to do away with the Nazis for killing the Jews. It was nothing about Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia was our ally. Russians were our ally to defeat Hitler. Don't let the lie of Canada come in and change our history. And if they were smart, this uh, this German um, terrorist that set Poland Jews on fire, why aren't we over there arresting him and charging him like we did the rest of them? Well, because we need the money and we need the funding in Ukraine to go after Russia, Russia, Russia. I'm pretty sure me and William will have a lot more on the show tomorrow night. And I told William if he needed to call in tonight, and I kind of left it up in the open, but I have a feeling this is going to be a big part of our show tomorrow night because it's not over. And why? Because Biden won't let it be over. Will he go this far? Why? Because we exposed his family for what they've been doing and the lie after lie after lie after lie. It's Russia, Russia, Russia. But why is the rest of the Democrats, even Hillary and Schumer and the rest of them, after Russia, 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 to blame Russia for everything that they could possibly blame on? We might know in 2030 or 2050 what this all means, but if our generation don't tell you what we know, we would be wrong. And when I found out, and thank God, and I think it's a blessing and maybe God sent, that I was sent the information about what was going on in Ukraine, Crimea, Ukrainians, and Russia in 2013, 14, 15, 16. And then me and my brother did the show. Maybe it was heaven sent. Maybe I was meant to know. I think everything happens for a reason. Karen will tell you this. Everything happens for a reason. And I think the reason I got the information is to tell you the lie of the United States, Canada, UK, NATO, and Europe. It's not Russia, Russia, Russia. It's the rest of the world trying to cover up war crimes they were a part of. Okay, folks. Subscribe, hit the like button, share this show because I'm not boasting that I knew about this. I want to inform you that uh, something is really wrong, not with our government, not with just Canada or NATO. I'm not going to say it's Soros or the World Economic Forum. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm still digging and searching, but I know when they start changing my history, it's wrong, wrong, wrong. And it's not Russia, Russia, Russia. It's Nazi, Nazi, Nazi. And we have accepted white supremacy through Nazi here. We've accepted white supremacy and Nazi in Europe, in the UK. And now we're going to blame Russia, Russia, Russia. All right, come on back tomorrow night. Please subscribe and share and hit the like button. Tell your family I'm not anti-Ukraine. I'm anti-Nazi. And I have every reason to be because I had a great aunt that was taken out in Auschwitz. And my father told me I was a Polish Jew descendant, and he would not let me become part of the Nazi issue, that it was wrong, it was corrupt, and we were wrong for taking Nazi scientists. Subscribe, share, hit the like button, and share, share, share. That's all I have to say, is because the more we let the American people or the people around the globe know the truth, we could stand up to these globalists and say enough is enough with the lies.